Now, the Washington Post recently published an opinion piece whose premise is that people of all political inclinations believe a lot of far-fetched conspiracy theories, especially but not exclusively if you're a Donald Trump supporter. So why is legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media so skeptical? Well, let's ask him. Lionel, what is the history of the conspiracy theory in terms of it being almost weaponized?
Precisely the case. In 1967, the CIA, in a memo, actually used the term, suggested that the term conspiracy theory be used in over 250 of the CIA pretty much run and controlled media outlets to be weaponized, but also to throw off people who were questioning at that particular time the Warren Commission. And to this day, it's still being used.
So, let's listen to Patricia's nonsense here.
Okay, well, how did you get into the flat earth thing?
Something came along that piqued my curiosity. I would look at YouTube videos about it, and that was a lot of conspiracy things. A lot of women, they say, aren't interested in conspiracy-oriented topics. I don't find that to be true, but that's what the numbers say, that most people interested in conspiracy are primarily men.
Yeah. The great Gore Vidal said that he wasn't a conspiracy theorist, he was a conspiracy analyst. And he said that a conspiracy theory today is really a code word for the unspoken truth. And that today it's almost basically an article of faith that you cannot believe in these. What we're seeing, Ashley, is true to this day. The weaponization of the term conspiracy theory, along with fake news, as we know, in order to distort, to dilute, and to destroy anything advanced by alternative platforms, foreign media, and the like. And people, dare I say, and fear, young people in particular, are being habituated to this idea that all you have to do is merely say it's a conspiracy theory and all discussion ends.
All right.
Whidbey Island, Washington, Mark K. Sargent started his career playing computer games professionally in Boulder, Colorado. From there, he spent the next 20 years troubleshooting and helping to train people in proprietary software. In 2014, he looked into what is no doubt the most ridiculous conspiracy ever, called Flat Earth Theory. So, in 2014, he looked into the ridiculous Flat Earth Theory. But MarkSargent.com was registered in 2012 by Ralph, who built Mark and Patricia's apps.
When I call somebody a shill, I want to be perfectly clear what I'm talking about. So under definition of internet shill, it says an internet shill is someone who promotes something or someone online for pay without divulging that they are associated with the entity that they shill for.
I emailed you and said, hey, would you be willing to come on and talk? Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with the company Metatron, and what your role is in that company?
Sure, thanks for inviting me on your show. Hi, Mark. Basically, I approached Mark a few years ago because I noticed Flat Earth was trending highly in YouTube, and we were testing a new business model. Oh, by the way, I'm the CEO of Metatron Incorporated. Our app division is called iMobilize, and we've been around for about 9 years. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. We sold 20 million books. That was probably our most famous app that we did. And, Mark and I are similar ages. We have similar backgrounds, but we are not the same person, I must say. Maybe brothers from different mothers, but we are not the same person. So I will just let everyone know that. Kind of both, but most of our revenue is from apps.
The top 10 flashlight apps today that you can download from the Google Play Store are all malware. They're malicious, they're spying, they're snooping, and they're stealing.
So where does that information go? What happens to it?
So I've been tracking down where it goes, and I've found 3 countries so far: China, India, and Russia.
Are people reporting it?
People reported this to the FTC, and the #2 flashlight app was sued by the FTC, and they just recently settled. They had 50 million downloads at the time, and Brightest Flashlight, which most of us have on our smartphones, had to, in the settlement, agree to put up a privacy policy before you run their app. The privacy policy, Brett, is 25 pages of legalese saying, yes, we spy on you, yes, we geolocate you, yes, we want your mobile data off your phone. We want all this info, accept or don't run our app. And most people don't read it and they hit accept. That was their settlement with the FTC.
Lionel, so when is something a rumor or just wrong, and when is it a conspiracy?
That is the essence of this. Sometimes when we believe that, let's say, our government or a police force or somebody is not telling us the truth, maybe they're covering up something, that's not a conspiracy. Look, I'm a lawyer. I'm a former prosecutor. Conspiracy means basically a criminal act between two people, two confederates, trying to accomplish something. If I keep something from you, if I keep a secret from you on my own, I'm not conspiring with anybody. It's just I'm keeping the truth from you. I'm lying. So what we have to do is to realize that there's a full frontal attack on the part of the Washington Post, New York Times to fight back. Because this is, remember, the fight for their lives. This is an existential threat that they fear. And what they do by putting these pieces out is to remind the folks, listen, if you don't see it here, it ain't true. And they bring up things like Pizzagate and Climategate. And it's the most intellectually convoluted hodgepodge and slapdash list of opinions. But it's true, Ashley. It's still being used as a dog whistle and as a term of weaponization as we speak.
So what is the purpose of these types of articles other than being used as weapons? Like, what's the purpose?
Well, one of the things they do is that they will say, well, say, for example, here, Pizzagate or Obama's birth or whatever. Well, there's obviously no proof of this. And what they do is they forget that, and maybe those are bad examples, that of a particular issue cited, there may be 1,000 issues. Maybe 10 of them are valid. Maybe the rest are bogus. But what they're doing is they're automatically saying there is nothing to this, nothing to see here, like the classic, nothing to see here, move along.
How do we explain the movement of the sun across the sky and the equinox, solstices, seasons, and tides?
Got it. I'll lump it all up in one thing.
Okay.
Stars, planets, sun, moon. Okay, we'll break it in two sections real quick. Stars and the planets, they are projected. They are not there. They are a beautiful, beautiful image. You can look at them. I encourage people to go out and stare at the stars. They're great. The moon is being projected on. I do not know what the moon is, and a lot of people don't either. The sun appears to be a projection system of its own.
My crew's pointing over there now. Oh, let's follow that clue.
How far away? It could be, as far as I know, a light bulb in a cage. I hate to say it.
If the Earth is flat, then where does the heat come from? Is the sun
good
even
one.
hot?
Good one. You mean the heat from, most of the temperature is underneath. You can control it. It's all the temperature mechanisms are going to be below us. Yeah, the sun's going to give off some heat, obviously, but no more than, a big light bulb in I know it sounds cheesy, but a big light bulb in a big area, like a terrarium. You can do so much more below than you can above. So the short answer to that, as far as where does the heat come from, I think mostly below.
So they're conditioning you. Whenever you see anything about, let's say, the Russians not hacking, that's not true. They're cementing, they are basically conspiring within an article that warns you against conspiracy theories. That's the ultimate irony of this. So what we're saying is, question more, where have I heard that? And also be apprised and be aware of how these terms are still being used today to basically turn off inquiry.
All right, Lionel, thank you so much for enlightening us. That was legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media.
The thing is that no matter what you prove, you can prove what you want with a gyroscope or the balloon. Is like I've said before, the people in that camp, the NASA camp, the science camp, aren't going to care. Okay? You could do the gyroscope stuff and prove the Earth is not spinning. And they won't care. And so we need to acknowledge this that we're hitting the wall and get back to the basics, which is, who cares if we hit the wall? We need to remember this is for the people that haven't discovered flat Earth yet, that are new to it. And so that's why what we do is important, even though it seems like we're just rehashing and rehashing the same stuff. It's still important. But a lot of these guys are losing sight of that, and like I said, they're becoming personalities, and it's becoming about cashing in and making money because they don't know where else to go with this. They feel like they've hit a dead end in their growth, and so they've lost sight of why did they get into this to start with. It was, I thought was to spread the word of flat Earth and to give people some practical truth, you know, and proof of why the Earth is flat. And so we need to get back to that and remember that it's important. Even though it seems repetitive, we need to do it because there's more and more people that are becoming interested, or at least in peeking at the information. So when these people who are on the fence or maybe new to flat Earth come into the flat Earth community to see what's out there, do you want them pulling up Matt Powerland, you know, crying in a hotel room, or the flat Earth asshole asking for gas money to go on a rock tour?